Hey there, comic book community. My name is Joe, and you're watching 360 Comics. I just picked up a small Silver Age collection, and despite it only being about 20 to 25 comics, it was loaded with key issues, some of them with some pretty high significance. Stay tuned to check out what I got. If you want to win this copy of Secret Wars #1, you should enter our 2,000 subscriber giveaway. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up for a like, and leave a comment down below. That'll get you one entry. You can also check out our other videos from the month of May for additional entries. This collection came to me solely by word of mouth, which is why it is so important to let people know not only that you collect comic books, but also that you buy comic book collections. A guy reached out to me on Facebook who I haven't seen in years. I've known him since I was a teenager, but he let me know his brother was looking to unload some comic books he had, Marvel stuff from the 1960s, and that got me interested. So I gave him my information. The owner of the comic books reached out to me. We had a quick discussion, talked a little bit about pricing, and he sent me some pictures of the books, and I said I would come take a look at them in person. The amount that he was asking was a little bit more than I was comfortable with, especially not seeing them in person because condition matters a lot on these Silver Age books, but as you can see, it ended up working out. Let's see what I ended up getting. All right, first up, we've got Daredevil #6. It is the first appearance of Mr. Fear, but in my opinion, it is more significantly the last appearance of Matt Murdock in the original yellow and red Daredevil costume. The very next issue is a big key because of the costume change to being all red. That is a significant issue, so I think that this one is definitely something to look at. There were only 6 issues of Daredevil in which he wore that yellow and red suit, and I believe the only other comic that he was in was Amazing Spider-Man issue 16. I think that might be his only appearance outside of Daredevil wearing that yellow and red suit. So definitely something as a Daredevil collector that I look for. Gotta compare this one to my personal collection copy and keep whichever one is nicer. Next up, we've got X-Men #36, the first appearance of Meccano. He's a minor villain in the X-Men run. Not anything super important, obviously not a very big character such as Juggernaut or Banshee, who does appear early in the X-Men run from this time. But nonetheless, it's a Silver Age X-Men key issue, and again, one that I have to check my personal collection and see if this one is a nicer copy. Next up, we've got Justice League of America #38, and this is one of the 2 books in the original Crisis run. This is Crisis on Earth A. I believe this was the first Crisis event. I'm not huge on DC and definitely want to consult my buddy Tony, who's a big DC fan, on this before I, make sure that I'm correct on that information before I end up selling it. I won't be keeping this book because I'm not a huge Justice League guy. Next, we've got The Avengers #19. You saw this book in the beginning of the video. This is the first appearance of Swordsman. Has an awesome cover as well with that gradient background. Swordsman right front and center, and some of the Avengers around the character there. This character did appear in the MCU in Hawkeye, and the question is he going to appear again? Was that a one-and-done appearance, or are we going to see him incorporated possibly into a West Coast Avengers team, or as a mentor to Kate Bishop in addition to Hawkeye? I definitely think they could incorporate that character, especially based off of the source material, how that character tied into Hawkeye in the comic books. So we will have to wait and see what is going on with that. Not only did it have the first appearance of Swordsman, but it also had the second appearance of Swordsman as well, issue #20. And these are both pretty decent looking copies, mid-grade, not high grade or anything like that. But I was very happy to see a lot of times that comics from the 60s were well read, well loved, and falling apart. And fortunately, this collection mostly had some pretty decent mid-grade stuff, including this next one right here. We got Amazing Spider-Man number 27. What is this? This is a minor key. I forget, it's the death of someone, but nonetheless, it's a Green Goblin appearance. I think this would be his fourth appearance, if I remember correctly, so not a super significant thing. In fact, I don't even think it's listed on Key Collector, but he's on the cover and he's in the book, and that's a a pretty significant character, so I would even consider a fourth appearance one that is worth picking up. This one probably is staying in the personal collection because I don't believe I have a copy yet. Next up, we just saw this character in a trailer. This is the second appearance and first cover appearance of Abomination, who is going to be reprised by Tim Roth once again in the She-Hulk show. In the trailer that just dropped this week, we saw both human form and Abomination form, so I guess there's some sort of changing back and forth going on with the character during the season of the show. We will have to wait and see what exactly is going on with that, but really cool that they're bringing a character back from that old Incredible Hulk movie. Will we see Doc Samson? Will we see a multiverse with Edward Norton Hulk? I can only hope, but I don't think that's going to happen. On to the last two books. These are the two biggest ones for sure. We got Tales of Suspense, number 49, an early Iron Man appearance. His first appearance was in 39, so 10 issues before. But this is also the first crossover between Iron Man and the X-Men. Now, I don't think we're going to see Tony Stark meet the X-Men in the MCU because of the fact that Tony Stark is not alive in the MCU anymore. But I do think we will probably see Ironheart and possibly Rhodey meet the X-Men, so it will be a similar event to this. Nonetheless, the first meeting of a major character and a major team in Marvel Comics from the Silver Age is going to be an expensive book no matter what happens in the movie. So this is a really, really nice one. Last up, we've got X-Men number 7, a single-digit X-Men book all the way back from 1960. I guess this would have been 64. This is the second appearance of the Blob, but more importantly than that, this is the first appearance of Cerebro, the computer system that Professor X utilizes to track and help all the mutants around the world. It is a main staple of X-Men storylines and things like that, so I have no doubt that it will show up in the MCU once the mutants and everything are introduced. Great book right here. Let's talk about money, because I paid a little bit more than I was comfortable with on this, because Silver Age stuff is pretty easy to sell. People are always looking for it, so I figured I'd be able to let it go a little bit more quickly than most books, so I was willing to pay a little bit more. Basically, he had taken these books, as well as the other ones. There's about 10 to 15 filler issues, but again, they are from the, biggest titles in Marvel. We had X-Men, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Avengers, and there was a couple Action Comics as well. Mostly Marvel, but again, there was some DC. That being said, I ended up paying for these keys, plus the filler issues, $400. Now, he had already taken these to a comic book store. They had offered him $400, and he was looking for a little bit more than that. And, I understand wanting a little bit more, but it's, some of these, the condition isn't, none of them are high grade or anything like that. So, he said no to the store and, contacted me. I went over, I looked at them, and I said, honestly, I'm probably going to be a little bit lower than that. Thought about it a little bit and said, you know what, I'm going to save you a trip. I will give you that $400. You don't have to drive over to the store, because he lives pretty far from the comic shop that he was giving him that offer. I said, you know what, I'll give you the $400. I know I can make money off of it. It's a smaller margin than I usually would like to make, but nonetheless, it's Silver Age stuff and a couple things for the PC. So to put it into perspective, these two books right here, the X-Men 7 and the Tales of Suspense 49. These two books have a value of almost $400 together. So in reality, maybe add in, another one of these key issues, that wouldn't make me break even. So the profit is going to come from selling the other stuff. After that, the filler issues, you get like $5 to $10 out of them, maybe like 15 if it's, a really popular title and the grade is decent. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lose money. Probably a total value optimistically of like $700 and a little bit more conservatively of like $600. I paid $400 for it, so a 50% return is definitely not something that I'm going to be scoffing at. And not only that, but I got to hang out with a bud who I haven't seen in a while and meet a new bud, and we even played a couple games of pool while I was over the house, which was pretty fun. I haven't done that in years since I've played some billiards, but I had a good time, and yeah, it was fun. I got some great books out of it as well. So hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit of different stuff. Been picking up a lot of modern collections recently, so some Silver Age was really, really nice. Give this video a thumbs up for a like. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Follow on Whatnot and Instagram. And until next time, turn the page, wash your hands.